You're watching Shalom TV, celebrating Jewish culture. Funding for Shalom TV has been provided by the following. And by viewers like you.
On the eve of the seventh day of Passover, I was going to go out with my family for just a day of enjoyment and pleasure, but instead I felt obligated, since here on the mountain that I live on, the Mount of Olives, there was going to be a funeral. I felt obligated that I should go and I should get to know where people like Ben Yosef Livnat are actually buried. I just didn't feel that I could go have a great relaxation day and have fun if this young Jewish hero would be laid to rest right on the mountain next door. I just didn't feel that it was right. So I joined the funeral procession. It had left the town of Alon Moreh at 11 in the morning, and about 1:30 in the afternoon they showed up in Jerusalem. And one of the first people to show up was the aunt of this Ben Yosef Livnat, and her name is Limor Livnat. She's the sports and culture minister of the state of Israel. And she was there mourning with the rest of us. And what we were mourning was the story of a young man who came in with 15 other Breslov Hasidim, that's ultra-Orthodox Hasidic branch Jews, who came under gunfire from Palestinian Authority policemen as they left the tomb of Joseph. The tomb of Joseph is in the city of Shechem. Shechem is also known as Nablus. It's the Roman name Neapolis. In the year 2000, Israel handed over the control of this very special Jewish site, the Tomb of Joseph, to the Palestinian Authority, whereupon the complex was completely ransacked. The Israeli Defense Force subsequently refused to facilitate Israeli visits to the site, which gradually fell into disrepair and burning and just became a destroyed site for the Jewish people. However, pressure from Jewish groups led to infrequent visits, which were allowed under army protection. Attempts to renovate the site were also pushed because of these Jewish groups. Now, one of these Jewish groups that made this return to the tomb of Joseph possible was actually the Hasidim of Breslov. Ben Yosef Livnat did not deserve to be murdered. He was a worshiper. He came to the town of Shechem to pray at the tomb of the forefathers, as many, many Jews do and have done for generations and generations. An IDF investigation showed that Palestinian police knew full well that Ben Yosef Livnat was not a criminal or a terrorist. 5 days after the killing of Ben Yosef Livnat, the Jewish response to the heinous murder took place. An annual ingathering of Jews to the tomb of Kalev ben Yefuneh and Yoshua ben Nun, Caleb the son of Jefuneh and Joshua the son of Nun, who are buried in an Arab village across from Ariel in Samaria. The IDF secured the event, but there was no trouble whatsoever. In fact, it was a joyous evening, and at the end, Israeli Knesset members said that this is our response, because we will never give up our right to pray at our righteous tombs and holy places, and we will never give up the land of Israel to those people who would take away our sovereignty.
In the land my fathers walked, I'm walking.
Less than a week later, the Jewish people en masse, about a record 15,000 people visited the tomb of Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Yefuneh, who are famous for being the two spies, that the 2 out of 12 that stood up for the land of Israel. The other 10 spies, they fell victim to fear and basically replied with a very negative report and said, no, we cannot enter the land.
Joshua fit the battle around Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fit the battle around Jericho, and the horse.
Joshua is the famous conqueror of Jericho, who was the second in command for Moses and took over for Moses in leading the Jewish people and leading them into the land of Israel. And he's buried together with Caleb ben Yefuneh here in the mountains of Ephraim, north of Jerusalem, right across from the modern-day city of Ariel, in an Arab village called the Kifl Chares. It's got two names, Timnat Chares or Kifl Chares. Now, what you're seeing in these images are actually the special night in which the same army that has left the presence of the tomb of Joseph took over this village, and really the word is secured this Arab village, in which there may be friends and there may be foes. Your name is Joshua,
I am named after Yeshua ben Nun, and I am protecting this site for the Jewish people to come here and visit freely and enjoy and pray at the gravesite of Yeshua ben Nun, the leader who took us into this land.
The Israeli army, the IDF, allowed the Jewish masses to come back and be able to pray in this Arab village in these special tombs. These tombs are not being desecrated. They're being treated respectfully by this Arab village. All right, folks, you are here with Yishai Fleisher, Eye on Zion, and we're at the tomb of Caleb ben Yefuneh, Caleb the son of Jefuneh. Who is this? This is a Jewish hero, one that brought the Jewish people to its first experience back after slavery with the land of Israel. But not everybody was ready to accept it. A lot of people were still afraid. Caleb ben Yefuneh, together with his general, Joshua the son of Nun, stood up strong against those who said, no, we can't take up the land of Israel. They said, yes, we can. And, well, after 40 years of traveling the desert, Joshua and Caleb together led the Jewish people back into the land of Israel. We're here to remember them and remember their strength. And so we got a chance to pray there together, for me, at my hero Caleb ben Yefuneh, and at the Joshua the son of Nun. And also, actually, interestingly, the father of Joshua, Nun, is there as well. Folks, here at the tomb of Yeshua ben Nun, Joshua the son of Nun, and this is the closest you can get to one of the most righteous people who was closest to Moses. And all we can ask for is his strength to lead the Jewish people in the next step forward towards sovereignty and strength and being a light unto the nations on our land.
I'm talking in the land where my fathers walked, in the land where my fathers taught. Yes, here,
Minister Edelstein, why are you here today?
In honor of Yeshua ben Nun and of our tradition, and I'm glad that I'm not the only one. Thousands of people are here.
Dr. Eldad, Knesset member Eldad. How are you, sir? Is it funny that that the Israeli army has to kind of really go out of its way?
It's quite time that the Israeli army will follow Joshua.
Knesset member Danon, how are you, sir?
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is the first time I'm seeing you here.
That's my first time here.
Not the last time.
No, definitely not. וזה המסר שלי היום לנו, לעם בישראל. אם אנחנו נהיה חזקים, אם אנחנו נהיה אמיצים וחזקים, אנחנו נתגבר על כל האויבים שלנו, כל היריבים, ובעזרת השם נזכה להגיע לפה גם ביום וגם לקבר יוסף הצדיק ולכל מקום בארץ ישראל.
It's clear that Joseph's tomb, the tomb of Joshua ben Nun, are central pillars in Jewish culture and Jewish history. But while that may be a fact, another fact is that the Jewish people are barred from 100% access to these holy places. In fact, at some of the most major Jewish holy places, Jews aren't actually allowed to be there full time. The Tomb of the Patriarchs, the Temple Mount, and the Tomb of Joseph are all barred from full access to Jews. Now, Ben Yosef Livnat did not play by the rules, and he did not get a lot of world sympathy, that's for sure. But in his death, he made a powerful statement, and that is that Jews should have 100% access to their historical and cultural landmarks. To mark the 30 days after the murder of Ben Yosef Livnat, Israel's defense minister, Ehud Barak, has issued a call to have as many Knesset members as possible come to a daylight gathering at the Tomb of Joseph. Does this signal Israel's interest in regaining sovereignty over the Tomb of Joseph and other historical spots? Time will tell.
Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Ve'ashev kohanim la'avodatam u'leviim l'shiram l'shiram u'lezimram. Ve'ashev Yisrael, ve'ashev Yisrael, ve'ashev Yisrael li'neven. Ve'ashev Yisrael, ve'ashev Yisrael, ve'ashev Yisrael li'neven.
We would be pleased to send a complimentary DVD of this program to anyone who can send a tax-deductible contribution of $36 or more to the nonprofit organization Jewish Education in Media to help support our programming. Tax-deductible checks may be made out to GEM and mailed to GEM, Post Office Box 180, Riverdale Station, Bronx, New York, 10471. Please indicate the program for which you would like a DVD. and we thank you for your kind support.